Hey YouTube, Untamed here. Behind me I have two different vehicles. Although they're only a couple years apart, they represent a huge shift that took place within the entire auto industry. I'm not talking just Toyota in this video, but seeing these two vehicles side by side and showcasing the differences between them, where they're built, what's underneath the hood, and just overall build quality, I think paints a very clear picture of the downward spiral that we're seeing within the entire auto industry. Stick with me as I showcase it. Find it quite fascinating because although they are both made by the same manufacturer, they're both Toyotas, they both represent a totally polar opposite mindset from the company. And it kind of blows my mind a little bit. Here, the 2024 Toyota 4Runner TRD Pro had a 4-liter naturally aspirated V6 underneath the hood, an old, reliable, trusty platform. And let's face it, why do most people buy Toyotas? They buy them for the reliability at the core, right? Right next to it though is that brand new 2026 Toyota Tacoma Trail Hunter. And I won't knock the look of it. I think it looks incredible, right? I think this looks awesome. There's, I don't know, even the bronze wheels, I think those are neat. But underneath the surface lies a lot of the issues. Now, instead of a naturally aspirated V6, what the current generation did have, a 3.5-liter naturally aspirated V6, now you get a 2.4-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder underneath the hood, a hybridized turbo 4-cylinder with the Trail Hunter here, as well as the TRD Pro. The price points are hugely different now. Back in 2023, when we did have the naturally aspirated V6 underneath the hood for the Tacoma, it had an MSRP right around $53,000. That was the top of the line TRD Pro. And now, $67,000 plus for the TRD Pro. This one here, I think it's just under $67,000, $66,523. But another big part of the problem is, talk about it plenty on the channel, but look at that. I don't know, hopefully you can see it, built and assembled entirely out of Mexico now. They used to be split between San Antonio, Texas and Mexico, but now they've shifted production entirely to the cheaper labor country. So that therein lies a big part of the problem what we're seeing from so many vehicle manufacturers, not just Toyota. The 4Runner over here, built entirely out of Japan, and thankfully, even the new 4Runners, hopefully you can see there's a couple over here, even the new 4Runner is still built out of Japan. So not only did they outsource production entirely to Mexico, a cheaper labor country where Toyota saves over 80% on labor cost alone compared to the US, but we just see an overall lesser quality product. Looking at these two vehicles side by side, look at the panel gaps between all the fenders, all the bumper, the door panel gaps. Everything is standardized and perfect on the 4Runner, built out of Japan. They take tremendous pride over there when building their vehicles. By comparison here, although it's a Toyota plant, a Toyota assembly line, you still have a lot more air within that Tacoma there, right? So all the panel gaps, they kind of deviate quite a bit. A lot more rattles on the interior. That front grille often rattles in this. It is not a quality product, and yet they still had the nerve to hike up the MSRP by $13,000, $14,000 comparatively to the previous generation Tacoma. Kind of wild, huh? Toyota knows a lot of people are pretty superficial. They'll see the cool body lines of this, the giant fender flares, the bronze wheels, you know, that bed rack out back, the chase rack. They'll be like, oh, okay, cool, this is awesome. And it's a Toyota Tacoma. That is a legendary nameplate. My father had one, my grandfather had a Tacoma. They loved those things, they ran forever, and well, a Tacoma will never fail me. It's a Toyota after all, so they're kind of resting on their laurels for a lack of better terms in my opinion. They just know people are going to continuously buy this nameplate based on its reputation. And well, right now it is a completely different Tacoma compared to the past. This one, completely different, entirely different from the original generations. And while the proof is in the pudding, guys, don't take it from me, go look up the values right now of a used 2024 Toyota 4Runner TRD Pro. Try to find one with less than 30,000 miles on it for less than its original MSRP of $56,000, $55,000. Good luck, you won't find it. Same goes for the Tundra, right? We have a huge lineup of new current generation 2026 Toyota Tundras over there, as well as the Tacomas at the end there. Good luck trying to find a previous generation Tundra with the V8 underneath the hood with maybe 50,000 miles or less for less than its original MSRP of $54,000 back in 2021. People have caught on. The true Toyota enthusiasts, they're gravitating back to what worked. They're gravitating back to simplicity, affordability, and reliability. Well, what was once affordable anyway. Of course, the same goes for the previous generation Toyota Tacoma. Go try to find a TRD Pro Tacoma. It doesn't matter the trim, but a TRD Pro Tacoma with less than 30 or 40,000 miles on it, you're gonna be spending dang near its original MSRP of $53,000. Well, the clearest example of all is the previous generation 200 series Toyota Land Cruiser. The one sporting the 5.7 liter V8 underneath the hood, the same V8 that we found in the previous generation Toyota Tundra. Try to find one of those with less than 50,000 miles on it for less than 100 grand today. Nowadays, people have caught on to the fact that that truly is the last of the brutish Land Cruiser. The new Land Cruiser, it's a laughing stock, right? It's a joke. It's an LC250, kind of based on the Prado, to be fair, but that is a joke by comparison to that previous generation Land Cruiser, right? That 200 series is an absolute tank, and that truly was the last of its kind. And people have caught on to it. Try to find one with less than 20,000 miles on it. You're spending over $130,000 now. The original MSRP back in 2020 and 2021, $89,000 to $91,000. Pretty insane, huh? Which brings me to today's video sponsor, and that is Last Fit Lighting. If you've been following my channel for any length of time, you've seen me highlight their floor liners in a number of my vehicles. I do firmly believe they produce a quality product and offer unmatched customer service. Today, I want to show you all of the new lighting that I have installed in our 4Runner TRD Pro. I did new headlights, new front and rear turn signals, new reverse lights, and it looks so much better, so much brighter. Let me show you. Start with the turn signals. These T3 bulbs are absolutely incredible. They are so much brighter than the OEM halogen bulbs that come in the 4Runner here. So much. I'm talking probably 3 or 4 times brighter, which to me gives me that great peace of mind that I want and need when I'm driving my vehicle at night. People will see me on the road, and heaven forbid I need to pull over and put my hazards on. People are gonna see me and go around me safely. And I don't know about you, but I have swapped out my entire headlight housing on my previous 4Runners. My headlight housing and my tail lights with Morimoto's and other brands previously, but I've really kind of just gravitated back to the OEM look. I love the OEM look of the 5th generation 4Runner. So to me, swapping out the actual bulbs, I don't know, seems like a better idea because I keep the OEM look, and that to me is more important. Not only are they much brighter than the OEM halogens, there are no extra decoders needed. There's no hyperflash or any error codes that are thrown on it. They're very simple to install too. No kidding, the entire install of my headlight bulbs, front and rear turn signals, and reverse bulbs, it took me less than 30 minutes, the entire job. So very simple to do. Obviously, it's gonna vary based on your vehicle, but overall, a very simple process. When it comes to pricing, I think you'll be very pleased with what you see. Check out their website using my affiliate link in the video description below. That lets Last Fit know that you're watching my videos and you appreciate this content. And on top of that, I'll do my best to keep up to date with the latest and greatest discount code, and I'll put that right next to the link in the video description. So check it out, and hopefully you're equally pleased with the product as I am. I want to be clear. Obviously, this Tacoma here is going to be a ton of fun for anybody who buys it, right? But the entire concept of it all disappoints me. It disappoints me because Toyota has deviated so much from what has made the company great in years past, and that is why this is hugely upsetting. Outsourcing it to Mexico, you know, up in that price point, up substantially, putting a 4-cylinder underneath the hood, all of it combined is a huge disappointment. And although I'm talking about Toyota in this video, guys, so many vehicle manufacturers are doing the same exact thing, right? They're offering you less for more money. That's ultimately what it is, and I find it pretty disappointing. Guys, I understand. I beat this drum all the time, but eventually, I hope maybe Toyota will listen. We all know why Toyota made the jump here. They get green credits from the US government. They cashed in on the carbon credits by lessening the engine displacement size, turbocharging everything, getting 1 or 2 additional miles per gallon that ultimately allows them to cash in on green credits, hybridizing everything, more green credits. So it's a giant check from the US government straight to Toyota. There's a reason why they're not doing these types of vehicles anywhere else, because other governments aren't issuing those types of checks to them, right? So it all boils down to money, right? They're a company at the end of the day, and they want to maximize profit. So you can't fault them for that. But I am hopeful that maybe, just maybe someday, Toyota will bring back these naturally aspirated platforms, just like we've seen from other vehicle manufacturers. Ram did it with the Hemi V8s. They're bringing it back. Why can't we bring back the Toyota V8 or the Toyota V6? Naturally aspirated options. Wrap up the video there, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are on this topic here, and let me know what other vehicle manufacturers you see doing the same exact thing. Skyrocketing the MSRPs, all while lessening the quality of the vehicles and lessening the engine size of all of their platforms. Thanks for watching. If you appreciate this type of content whatsoever, I do respectfully request that you please consider liking and subscribing. Your support means a ton and definitely doesn't go unnoticed. Till next time.